quickie, just because we saw Slim walk out there as we were obviously she's out tonight, but I don't think we've seen her kind of going through a pregame routine, so clearly getting closer. Um, how's she feeling?
Getting closer. How close? I don't know. Getting closer. Yeah, it's been a positive couple days. Um, it's 3 days in a row. She's been able to do 3 days in a row. 3 days in a row. She's been able to do something on the court, which is good. And I didn't get to watch it tonight because I was talking to our TV people, but I'm sure I'll get the update. And she seems very encouraged.
When you do your Atlanta homework, what stands out about them?
Uh, their ability to get in the paint, get fouled, uh, to get in transition. You know, with Ryan and Alicia especially, but not just those two. They're bigs. AP when she comes in, Nia Coffey, Haley Jones, like all those guys. If the picture of the game is you sticking your arm out as they go by you, you're probably in a tough spot. If your picture is moving your feet to get in front of the ball and the next person being ready to help, you're probably a lot better. So um, we got to get back to taking care of the paint, showing no space for drivers, knowing personnel, uh, and then rebounding the ball.
Very familiar with Miss Tina.
Yeah.
Is she how has she looked in this year? Is she got the same bag of tricks as Tina has always had?
Yeah, she looks good. I mean, she played overseas this winter and she came in great shape. And when we played them in preseason, I thought she looked great physically. They have a little bit different kind of with her and Cheyenne, kind of figuring out who gets the post ups, who's spacing. They kind of traded off back and forth. But you got to account for her in both positions. She's been in pick and pops where she's shot it or drove it, and then she's had her kind of her usual post touches. So she hasn't scored all these career points for no reason. She's got a lot to her game. Yep. Oh wow, so generous.
Um, from the past couple of games, what were maybe some things in the offense that you could be trying to tweak in the past couple of days? Well, you had time to actually.
Making layups, being more ready to throw passes. I think we're getting, particularly our shooters, and some of our guard to guard stuff is getting pressured more, but there's been opportunities for slips and cuts and curls. And I think some of our passes have either not happened because we haven't anticipated it or have been a half second late or deflected. Um, if we can clean some of those basics up and get some more layups in the lane off cuts, rolls, slips, that changes how a defense has to play you. And so I think taking advantage of those points and those opportunities makes life a lot easier for everybody on the perimeter as well.
Just like you told me yesterday about Jade getting more
Yeah.
minutes, just based on how she's got the energy she's providing.
Mm-hmm.
But giving her more minutes, then it shifts away from energy and having a larger goal.
Yeah.
What type of opportunities are you trying to now set up for her to be able to thrive more in her role?
I don't know that I mean, I thought she did a good job picking her spots to be aggressive so far without me having to set her up for a lot of those opportunities. She knows how to run our offense. When she's been in pick and roll, she's been aggressive. She's gotten in transition. Just kind of finding what her strengths are, where she likes screens, what type of big she partners well with. But we're just gonna kind of let her keep playing. She needs game reps. She's still young, but she's earned her minutes on the floor, and hopefully she just keeps growing.
Kind of picking up on that, when Slim comes back, do you feel like it's possible to play all 3 point guards since, some of them can slide off the ball, or is that still a tough ask to find minutes for 3 point guards?
I'm gonna find minutes for whoever deserves to play. So if it's all three of them, then it's all three of them.
Coming into the season, it seemed like there were some questions about who would run the point behind Slim. And now you've got Julie playing so well, you've got Jade, emerging. Do you feel like that position is, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but do you feel like it's like stronger or deeper than maybe you knew for sure at the beginning of the season?
Is that Thunder? I think so. I mean, I think Julie has showed that it's been a pretty seamless fit. we obviously had expectations that she could play like this, but it's, once you see it and she's doing it for, pretty significant minutes, gives you more confidence. And then Jade's been kind of obviously we went into camp not knowing we were going to have her, and she's probably been a pleasant surprise in that regard. So, yeah, we have some depth.
Just last one for me, kind of on a similar note with Carly averaging double figures. Was this about what you expected from her when you signed her in free agency? Is this better than you expected? How do you kind of evaluate, kind of her output for you so far?
I think it's been probably what we expected. I think she's probably got a little bit more well-rounded game maybe than we realized. She's smart. I think playing overseas and having to be more creative really helped, that part of her game. She's willing to take the challenge on defensive matchups. I think if anything, there's probably a couple games where she feels like she could have made a couple more shots. So that number could be higher and better. So if she starts, every night making the ones that she has a long track record of making, we could really be in business.
I'm gonna have one quick follow-up before we hit the Zoom. You've talked a lot about, working on finishing, well, when you have time to working on finishing, working on the layups. I'm sure that's not just a layup line. Can you kind of?
It kind of was. It kind of was. It kind of was. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a layup line against Latoya Sanders, which is a little different than your typical layup line.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is. I mean, I think some of it is that simple of, I feel like a lot of our misses were rushing, or we're off balance. And so just kind of coming back to some basics to be on balance, find your target, don't rush. It's probably a little different for each player. Be willing to take some contact and get on balance and get off at 2 feet more, I would say are some of the main kind of themes across the group. Everybody moves a little differently and works a little differently, but yeah, when your basics are struggling, go back to basics.
All right, thank you.
How excited was Toya for that drill? She enjoyed that one.
She slept well afterwards, I'm pretty sure, between her and Andrew. Yeah.
That's it, Coach. Thank you.
Okay, thanks guys.
I didn't even bump it.